Time is now 6:32. We are in session. Notice is hereby given that a special meeting and public hearing of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas will be held on Thursday, February 29th, 2024 at 6:30 PM at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas, where a quorum of the City Council will be present. All agenda items are subject to action. You can follow us at the Zoom meeting provided in the agenda. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by audio as provided by the agenda and as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting. If providing comments in person, at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting by emailing cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com or by calling 210-607-0834 if speaking telephonically or by audio. An audio recording of the meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. Madam Secretary, may we have a call to order?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem Alvarado.
Here.
Alderman Coffendack.
Here.
Alderwoman Martinez.
Here.
Alderman Rapino.
Here.
And Alderman Fillinger is absent, but you do have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving right along. Citizens to be heard. Persons wishing to speak may sign up with the city secretary in the time and manner as indicated above. This time is provided to citizens to address the city council on issues and concerns related to the city of Sandy Oaks. Please note that the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the city council from responding, commenting, or discussing items or topics during this portion of the meeting that are not included on the agenda. The city council appreciates hearing from the citizens and your thoughts and questions are valued. However, civility and a sense of decorum will be strictly followed. All speakers must address their comments to the city council. Speakers shall refrain from public criticism of members of the city council that are prohibited by law. This item will be open for up to 30 minutes with 3 minutes to each speaker. One person may speak on behalf of a group. Up to 3 people may register on behalf of the group for the spokesperson to be allotted up to 9 minutes to speak. If there are more than 10 speakers, each will be given 2 minutes or 6 minutes for a group spokesperson. So at this time, we do have Mr. David and Sarah Reyes. Ma'am, yep, ma'am and sir, y'all have the floor.
So both me and my wife signed up. I'm gonna be taking her 3 minutes. That's okay with you? Happy wife, happy life. I'll take up maybe 3-4 minutes of your time max. So I'm here to just air a couple of concerns, to beat a dead horse, so to speak. It's about children, bus stops. I know you know where I'm going with this. It's about the citizens in the streets. My family, we've been here for just about a year. In this time, we've been chased by dogs, riding bikes in the neighborhood. We don't ride our bikes in the neighborhood anymore. My 2 kids here have 2 different bus stops. They leave at 2 different times. I see dogs all the time. Some are vicious, some are concerning, some not so much, mostly not so much. One dog in particular, I actually saw it get on the bus with the kids. Pretty funny. Nothing happened, obviously, they got down. One particular dog that I saw at the bus stop was malnourished. You would say emaciated. You could see ribs. You could see hindquarters. It was a skin and bone skeleton. Very unfortunate. Had trouble walking. Broke my heart. That type of abuse obviously doesn't happen overnight. So we obviously know kind of what happened there. I see citizens threatening shooting animals on next door, which from what I understand is not against the law if you're protecting your property, but it is what it is. If it hasn't happened already, that's going to happen. And when it does, sooner or later, a stray bullet is going to hit an unintended target, be it property, be it an individual. And at that point, cooler heads likely will not prevail. I don't fall into that boat. I'm just pointing this out. What I would like to see from the city council is to get the animal shelter into legal standings, as I understand that it's not currently 100% in line with state law. So that's something I think we all could work on. This way, I think, I believe would help the animal control work a little more efficiently in getting some of these animals off the street. And I hate to say this, but if that means euthanasias go up, then so be it. Once it gets out, the word that is that Sandy Oaks is not a place to dump your animals, then it's gonna slow down. Maybe not stop, but hopefully slow down. When our citizens realize that the animals that they hardly care for don't come home and are possibly gonna be put down, they're either gonna wisen up, secure their animals, or they're just gonna have to live with knowing that their irresponsibility has resulted in dogs being put down. I'm here to just say, if you guys need a volunteer for the shelter committee, you can count me in. There's members up here that I know how to get a hold of me. I invite you to reach out, please. Sorry. The emaciated dog. He's part of my family now.
Oh, no.
In the 5 months we've had him, it's been close to $1,000 in getting him where he needs to be. He still has a ways to go. When Terry's seen the dog, Terry will probably tell you he's looking good. Mike, I think you've probably seen him. He might say he's looking good. I just want us to do better as a community to get this under control. So if you're not a part of the council and you're listening to my voice, I urge you to reach out to city council members. Let them know if you can help. If you know someone that can help, please reach out to Mike. I've had email communication with him very easily. He's good about getting back. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, there are no other persons to be heard. We'll move on to the next item. Mayor and administrator announcements. As you can see, when you drove up, we are under construction, so I apologize for any extra mud on your boots or on your tires. Or if you have a motorcycle and you have mud on your back of your bike. But please be cautious as you go out. We'll try to escort you out as best as we can today and throughout the next few days or throughout the next few weeks, really during the construction period. But please pardon our dust. It's gonna be better. We're in the construction phase, so apologize for any inconvenience that may cause. This time I don't have any other announcements. Election day is next Tuesday, correct? Right? And we are a voting center, so if you are registered to vote, and registered here, come on down. We'll be here. I'll be closing up shop. Catherine will be opening, and we'll. Huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
From what
Wait a second.
hours? The hours?
Hours are what, eight to
7 to,
Seven.
well, polling hours or
Yeah.
7 to 7?
Or
7 to 7.
7 to 7.
Okay, so 7 to 7, we will have polling hours, so stop in before, after work, or during the day if you happen to work from home. All right, moving on to the next item, public hearing, community development block grant. So the city of Sandy Oaks invites all citizens to a public hearing at 6:30 PM on February 29, 2024 at the City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas, 78112, to discuss and obtain comments regarding a proposed performance statement amendments to its 2021 Texas CDBG program, Community Development Contract CDV 210020. This amendment is intended to add adjacent work to the current grant agreement. The adjacent work would take place along Loman and the Hilltop Peaks neighborhood to assist with inadequate street drainage, resulting in frequent flooding and unsafe conditions. Please limit your time to 3 minutes. And Mayor Pro Tem, if you could read the next portion.
Okay. For the audiencia pública, Community Development Block Grant, la ciudad de San Diego se invita a todos sus ciudadanos a una audiencia pública el 29 de febrero de 2024 o 2024 a las 6:30 p.m. En la ayuntamiento localizada en el 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, 78112, para discutir y obtener comentarios sobre la enmienda propuesta a la declaración de trabajo para el contrato CDBG de 2021, número CDB 21-0020. Esta enmienda tiene como objetivo agregar trabajo a gente a la cuerda de subvención actual. El trabajo adyacente se llevará a cabo a lo largo de Loman en el escenario de Hilltop Peaks para ayudar con el drenaje inadecuado de las calles, lo que resulta en inundaciones frecuentes y condiciones inseguras. Por favor, limite su tiempo a 3 minutos.
Time is now 6:43. We are in our public hearing. All right, so right now we do have only Kayla who is signed up to speak. So Kayla, you do have the floor if you would like to lead us off.
I'm your grant admin from GrantWorks, and I'm kind of the go-between between the city council and particularly the mayor and Ms. Catherine, and the Department of Agriculture. So Sandy Oaks has been the beneficiary of a grant, a development block grant to assist with street drainage in the Hilltop Peaks neighborhood. And there was some funds left over, about 70K left over from the first bidding process. And so that means that we get to add additional work. However, to do that, we have to have applied for the work to begin with and also ensure that we have an amendment to the state contract. So this is basically just saying that the city is going to be submitting an amendment to add in additional streets within the Hilltop Peaks neighborhood. So it's the same type of drainage work. And it'll be designed by the same engineer, and then we'll still go to bid. But it's not usual that the bids come in lower than expected for construction projects. But it benefits the community because then you get some additional drainage areas. Part of the drainage areas have been completed from the first portion, what we're calling like project number 1, and we're amending in project number 2 for the portion on Loman. For project number 1, we're also going to be amending in some safety measures because part of the drainage ditches are very close to the road. There's basically little to no shoulder. So we're going to be amending in, hopefully getting some, I believe they're called bollards installed. So that way, hopefully no cars drop into the drainage ditches there. So that is the amendment portion of this public hearing. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But this construction timeframe should be a lot less than the original project number 1 because it's just a smaller portion of Hilltop Peaks.
Thank you, Kayla. Okay, since there are no other people signed up to speak, we can go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:45 p.m. Catherine, do we have to pass this by a motion? The resolution? We do?
And that's a resolution.
Okay. So
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution 2024-192. Resolution of the city council of the city of Sandy Oaks. Go ahead. Awesome.
all right, so that all said, I do have a motion from Alderman Coffindaffer and a second from Alderman Rapino to approve resolution number 2024-192. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, authorizing the submission of a contract amendment request for Texas Community Development Block Grant Program, Texas CDBG, contract number CDV 21-0020 between the City of Sandy Oaks and the Texas Department of Agriculture. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. All right, I believe that brings us to the end of our meeting today.
We'll make a motion that we
That motion carries. We are adjourned at 6:47 PM.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
That's gotta be the quickest one.
Maybe.